Happy Tuesday. I am so glad that you're here. Today, I want to share a little bit about something that God told me last fall. So, I had surgery back in the end of September last year. I had had pain in my foot for over 10 years, and so I finally decided to get something done with it. And the doctor told me that when I had the surgery, that it would, that would take care of the problem. So it was a little more complicated than what they thought. So I was non-weight bearing for longer than they had planned, and so I was getting a little frustrated. We were working on my in-laws' house. We were doing a lot of different things, and it wasn't necessarily the best time frame for me to be non-ambulatory, but it is what it is. And so it's getting, like I said, a little bit frustrated and just kind of wanting things to speed along, wanting things to hurry up. And at the same time, I've suffered from asthma for a good 10 years or so as well. And that had continued to get a little bit worse. So I had the surgery in September, and then mid-October, I got bronchitis. And for people who have asthma, when you get bronchitis, it takes a long time for the coughing to go away. And a lot of times you need extra help. So I was having to deal with steroids, and then I had to have another dose of steroids. And so what could have been just a couple week illness turned into, I really didn't stop coughing until the end of December, beginning of January. So I say all that to say I was getting a little frustrated, and God just kind of spoke to my heart, and he said, Sherry, I want you to trust the process. And I thought what he meant by that was the healing is coming. It's slower than what you think, but the healing is coming. So take a breath. Use this time to relax as much as you can. Use this time to refresh as much as you can, and just trust the process. Trust that I am working behind the scenes where you can't see me necessarily, but trust that I'm there and that I'm working. And so come to present day, at the time of filming this, my foot is still not where it needs to be. I'm in more pain than I was in September before the surgery. So I'm looking at going back to the doctor and finding out if I need to have another surgery or what. But in the process, I'm holding on to God's promise to trust the process, to trust him. Some days there are improvements, and other days there seems to be step back. So it's like that 2 days forward, 3 days, or 2 steps forward, or 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, something like that. I think it's 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. So at times it feels that way, but I keep going back and I keep reminding God of his promise that I need to trust the process, trust the process. And you probably can't tell much from the video, but I have not really coughed or had any kind of a coughing episode or asthmatic episode since January. So I truly believe that God is healing me and healing my lungs as well. So I just want to encourage people today that if you're in the middle of what seems to be a frustrating, long journey, I just want you to trust the process. I want you to ask God for a word for yourself, um, because maybe trust the process isn't the word he has for you. Maybe it's, I will fight for you. You only need to be still. Maybe it's, I want you to do such and such, or I just want you to relax, or I've got this. Whatever it is, ask God, ask the Holy Spirit for a word for yourself personally. But in the meantime, just trust that that he's working behind the scenes, even if we can't see him, that he is healing us, that he is, um, that everything that God does for our lives is for our good. Sometimes that means that he'll bring us through tests and trials. Sometimes that means that we'll be on a journey that we don't really want to be on. But God is working all things out for good to those who love him and are called according to his purpose. So there's my encouragement for you today. Trust the process. And if you feel like it, you could pray for me with my journey as I figure out if I need to have more surgery or if it's all still part of the journey and the process and the healing, and it will just continue to improve each and every day. So if you liked this video, hit the like button. If you would subscribe, I would love that, and I would love it even more if you would share this with your friends so that more people can see it. Have a great rest of your day. Have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you next week.